online faculty development program. So I went through all the previous topics that were a part of this uh, faculty development program, and they all seem very interesting and intriguing and keeping up with the trend. Today, I would like to share with you like how to get into the robotics, how you can begin not only as a faculty but also to enable the students as to how they will be able to get. Hello.
Sir, please unmute yourself. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
Now
yes.
we are able to hear you.
Sorry. Okay. So robotics has always existed in the field of engineering. What is robotics? It is a combination of mechanical, electronics, and computer science combined together to form a discipline of its own. So you should have an expertise in all the three fields to be an expert in robotics. You cannot only excel in one field and call yourself a roboticist. So as I told you, robotics has always existed for industrial purposes, but it was not a part of education in schools and colleges until as of now. Because you see, to be able to control complex algorithms, lot of sensors, and lot of actuators that are part of robotics, part of a robot, you need powerful microcontrollers. You need powerful processors and computers to control these parameters. So it was only used in industrial purposes, and you had to learn complex languages and code, which earlier was not accessible or was not understandable by students. So a group of scientists from Italy, yeah, in around 2005, what they thought that, I mean, they were industrialists, they were expert programmers and engineers, and they thought that this technology should be passed on to the kids. It should be accessible to the general public. So they founded a company called Arduino in 2005. Uh, Please enable me so that I can share my screen.
And now you can share your
Yes. Yes. Have you guys heard of Arduino? I'm sure pretty much a lot of you must have heard of Arduino. I mean, you don't need to know a whole lot about it, but you must have heard about it. So, like, this is their website, and this is an open source development program. That means you have all the files and production files, schematics, everything is available online, and you can make your own boards. You can sell your own boards. There is no limitation. You don't need to acquire IP rights or anything to be able to produce these boards. Okay, so the engineers, what they did, they developed this Arduino program which integrated microcontrollers that were previously used only for engineering, only for industrial purposes, for different purposes. Okay, so they took the microcontroller and they developed a simple board around it. Okay, and that board became very popularly known as Arduino. Okay, so this is the Arduino as we know it. But Arduino is actually the name of the brand. The board itself is called as Uno, UNO, Uno. Okay, so here is the microcontroller, and you can, earlier this was not programmable by like the beginners like us or like students. It could be only programmed by experienced um, embedded engineers who have had a lot of practice and training on programming microcontrollers, because actual program used for these uses assembly or its proprietary language, that is the AVR. So what the team did, they made, you must have heard about terms like encapsulation and abstraction in C++ and C language. What abstraction means, that you hide the complex codes and programs from the general public. You hide it behind so that when you are programming, it is not visible to you. Okay. And encapsulation means you pack a lot of stuff into a small function or a code. That way, you can just make a reference to that function and it will be called in the program automatically. Okay. So Arduino is programmed on C language or C++, which is a high level language. Okay. Now earlier the programmers used low level languages like the assembly language, and which was very difficult to understand for beginners. And so they developed C languages. They did not develop the C language, but they modified it accordingly so that you can program the Arduino. And the main thing is that, like, when you learn to program a particular processor, a particular architecture like 8051 or 8086 processor or an ARM architecture, so you need to learn different sets of instructions for each of the processors. But in this case, what Arduino simplified is that once the Arduino platform was set up, different processor manufacturers, they started providing their own libraries, their own simplified code, so that the same language, same code can be used to program different processors. That was one advantage of it. Okay. So mm, one more feature is that, like, it has a lot of basic features required. It has digital input output pins, the analog pins, all of the voltage regulators required in one board. So this is the revolution that began. Before this product, there was no other product that could be easily programmed by the beginners, and they could not get into the field of robotics very easily. So this was the kind of revolution that we saw, and which has enabled the robotics to become a hot topic today. Like, a kid's education is not complete without the education about robotics nowadays. In North India, still a lot of schools and colleges are yet to catch up. I have conducted numerous workshops in various schools and colleges across India, and what I have observed is that in states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, there is quite an awareness about this robotics program. Like they have started introducing these courses in the primary schools itself. Not primary, in the elementary level itself, like from 4th or 5th standard, the students are already starting to learn the Arduino language and starting to use the Arduino platform to develop different products. Like one example that you can see recently that was trending everywhere was the uh, contactless hand sanitizer dispensers. So that was essentially developed by the students itself of different schools and colleges, or even more students. And that actually became a commercial product. You just need to place your hand and it will dispense your sanitizer. So that is one example. Like a simple product can be a simple platform such as Arduino can be used to make commercial products that can be pretty successful. Okay, so what other parameters does this offer, which made it very user friendly and so popular, is that it offers simple integration of sensors. You can attach different sensors with very ease, I would say, because there are a lot of libraries. The sensors used to exist earlier also before the introduction of Arduino, like the proximity sensors, like the ultrasonic sensors. They used to exist before the development of Arduino also, but they became popular only when this board became popular. I mean, this platform became popular. So they modified their codes. They provided simplified codes or simplified libraries. Like I'll give you a very simple example. Like there is a robot and there are motors on the robot, and you just want to make it go forward. Nowadays, programming languages are so simple that you can simply write robot dot go forward. Okay, and the robot will move forward. But there is a lot of coding that goes behind it that is not visible to the students nowadays. That is not required to be visible to the students nowadays. Okay, that is provided as a library. When you type in robot dot go forward, that go forward will be a function. It will be called inside the code, and your programming is simple. Okay, you just need to apply the logic. You don't need to know the syntax of the programming language anymore. You don't need to be concerned uh, with what's going on in the rear end, in the back end. Okay, so that is the reason why this platform is very popular and it should be introduced. We are talking in robotics discussions, people are talking a lot about machine learning and artificial intelligence, but those topics are quite advanced, I would say. You should not straight away jump to learn those topics, because without a solid foundation your knowledge will crumble. You will have to come back at some point of time to learn the basics, because you will not get very far ahead with learning programming in the field of robotics if you do not know the basics. So this must be emphasized and taught to the students as to how to go about starting the basics. Machine learning and artificial intelligence are fine. They are hot topics, but we should not jump straight away and should not start projecting those topics to the students directly, because in the future they will not be able to move forward. That is one problem that I have observed. Straight away, people are talking about learning machine learning and artificial intelligence. Those are basically codes. Okay, in especially in machine learning, they use this image processing to learn different patterns and different methods like image detection, color detection, shape recognition, facial recognition. These are all applications of machine learning. and there are complex codes involved, but they are being provided in form of libraries, and students find it very easy to implement those to learn the machine learning and AI, artificial intelligence, but that deprives them of the ability to code. They will not be able to develop their own code. They will be using the existing libraries only. They will be only good at that. We don't want that to happen. We should teach the students so that they can start from very basic. So like, I hope everyone is following up till now. If anyone has any doubt or is not clear about anything that I have said till now, please do let me know. So everyone has understand like
Yes, sir. All clear till now.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay, so this was my the motive of this entire workshop. For me, it was my motive like I should be able to clarify like how you can actually get into robotics. Like beating around the bush will not help. You cannot just say that we need to learn robotics, we need to learn robotics. But if you do not have a clear vision of what you need to actually learn, then it will be very difficult uh, for you to understand and for the students to be able to understand from you. Okay, so okay. So this is the hardware part of the robotics. What you can do is download the IDE, that is the Integrated Development Environment. Like for programming, making programs in C language, you use Turbo C++ or other programming languages. Sorry, other programs are created in IDEs, that is the Integrated Development Environment. For Arduino also there is a Integrated Development Environment, that is the Arduino IDE.
Okay, question.
Yes, please.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, please go on.
I'm Puneet Namdev, PGT computer from SPPS Bhopal.
Yes,
Sir, I want to ask a question. Sir, if we are teaching Python programming to student of 11th and 12th,
yes.
so sir, what is the scope for Python programming in robotics, especially in which kind of application we can apply this programming skills, especially in field of robotics and artificial intelligence, and how we can do this in our school. Basically, we don't know much more about all these things. We have
Acha.
just the books and the practicals set up with us.
Yes, yes. Okay, so this is a very fair question. I get it quite often. Okay, so you see the mother of all programming languages, C language. Every other language is more or less derived from the C language itself. Whether you learn Python, C, Java, or any other programming language, it will make you more or less an expert in the other languages as well, because the logic is same. Okay, and Python is very popular. I mean, for industrial applications and developments in machine learning and AI, Python is only widely used. For see, now I am talking about this Arduino development board, but this is only for beginners. For advanced programmers, Arduino will not do. For complex, very complex programs, Arduino will not do. For that, you need powerful processors, boards with powerful processors such as the Raspberry Pi or NVIDIA Jetson. Recently, NVIDIA has launched their own kind of development board that is called the Jetson. So, for those to program in those platforms, you require Python. Okay, so it is not that it will go useless or it will not be used. Python is the ultimate tool for development of the machine learning algorithms and the artificial intelligence. For all the higher level applications, for the industrial level or the advanced level applications, you will require Python. Okay, it is not only necessary for developing software, but it can be also very useful to integrate hardware projects. Like as of now, I am guessing that you are using teaching Python to only develop softwares and small programs, but in future the same can be used and hardware can be integrated like cameras and other sensors so that you can use it for machine learning and artificial intelligence as well. Okay, I hope that answers your question. If you have
Yes, sir.
any, yes, yes, okay,
Thank you, sir.
yes. Any other questions? Um,
One thing I want to ask another question.
yes.
Sir, is government is planning to give support to some lower and middle level schools for giving them supports in encouraging the practice in robotics and artificial intelligence in means funding of the for their lab and setup, or school have to spend money for getting these facility?
Yes.
Means like सर ये जो बात हो रही थी अभी सर ये जो स्टार्टअप पॉलिसी जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने बनाई थी और जो ये इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स जो बनाए जा रहे हैं सर यूनिवर्सिटीज में और कॉलेजेस में, सो सर स्कूल्स लेवल पे भी ऐसा कुछ है क्या सर, जो ताकि जो टीचर्स जो इस एरिया में ऑलरेडी हार्ड वर्क कर रहे हैं उनको एक सपोर्ट और एक इंकरेजमेंट उनको मिले?
Yes. There is a program called Atal Tinkering Labs, ATL. And if you,
Yes, sir.
wait, actually, I'm trying to share my screen.
Sir, as I am a school teacher and I want to get facility of all those in my school so that I can utilize my skill and I can also give support to my student.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. There is a program called ATL Lab, Atal Tinkering Labs.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
I believe you might have heard about it. So this is I think this is the perfect answer to your question, what you are asking. So you need to fill out the form to get an adult tinkering lab in your school. Like there are few criteria that you need to have a minimum quantity of students so that you will get the funding. Also, some area of the school is required, like a minimum area should be there, and you will get funding of up to 10 lakh rupees for setting up a robotics lab. This is the policy that is being provided by the government of India. So I think every March or April you need to fill up the form and your school will be selected. If you meet the requirements, then you will be provided with the funds. Also, if you are working in the ATL labs, you will be provided with.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Actually, I have logged in from my PC and my cell phone as well because we are experiencing very heavy rainfall in these areas. Am I audible? Still audible to everyone?
You are audible, sir. Yes, please forward, carry forward.
Hello,
Hello.
sir. I am also a school teacher, and sir, I want to know that we don't have equipments and we don't have a robotics lab in our schools. So can you suggest some apps so that we can train students for robotics while using that apps? Hello.
Some network issue is there, I think.
Okay.
Anand. Hello, Vicky sir. Hello. Hello. Hello, Vicky sir.
Yes.
Sir, you can present by your
It
mobile. Mobile.
experience
You can
the
share it.
state that is Assam, so we did not have electricity consistently.
No problem, sir. You can present the screen by mobile.
Mr. Puneet, I guess.
Sir, I am here, sir. I am able to listen you.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think I have answered Mr. Uh, Puneet about your query and you are clear. You can look into the program and you can have the further information from the internet about the same.
Sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You can apply for that scheme and you will get it is the exact thing that you are actually looking for. That's what I believe.
Yes, sir.
Sir, if you want to share your screen by mobile, you can share.
Yes. Actually, I am logged in from two different devices, one mobile and laptop
Here
as well.
mobile is showing. I have given right mobile.
Sorry.
I have given presenter right on mobile.
Yeah, it's all right. As of now, I have nothing to share on the screen, so it is all right. Like to take few more queries. Actually, in the next session, I will show you how you can go about beginning the programming of the Arduino even without buying hardware, because there are softwares which include the which will provide you with the simulation that is required to program the Arduino. That means you can write a virtual code on a virtual Arduino and you will be able to program it as per your wish. You don't need to spend anything, like you don't need to physically buy the board and all. So that is very kind of interesting and encouraging, because there is an ambiguity amongst the students or anybody who tries to approach robotics. Like, it is an expensive topic after all. It is not very cheap. You will have to spend money in order to learn robotics. So if you are only comfortable doing and learning robotics, then I recommend that you proceed further, because this is not for everyone. Not everyone can be a good programmer. Not everyone can be a good electronics engineer or a mechanical engineer for that matter. So you need to experience virtually without having spending any money, whether you will be comfortable, whether you will be able to understand, whether you have it within you. Yes, someone just asked, like, can you suggest a simulation software? I will be showing it to you in the next session that we have, I think from 2 p.m. In that, I will
Okay,
show
sir.
you a very simple simulation software where you can actually run most of the features that is available on the Arduino on a virtual platform.
Okay, sir. Sir, this is the my question that we came to know some softwares that may be a free of course, or so that we can teach kids or students in schools on robotics, because we don't have a robotics lab in our school.
Okay, so you want to know about the free software.
Hanji.
Okay. See, the first thing is that the Arduino software, like the software which is used to program the Arduino, is free, is completely
Okay.
free. Okay, Arduino is an open source platform. That means there are actual Gerber files. Okay,
Okay.
the design files for the Arduino. If you have the manufacturing ability, if you can manufacture the product, then you can download those files, send it to some PCB manufacturer, and they will manufacture it for you. Okay,
Okay, sir.
it is so open source. You do not need any license, or you do not need any permission from the Arduino founders of the Arduino to make and sell your own boards or copy their boards. You can do anything. There are no rights reserved. There are no copyrights. Okay, this is the beauty of this program. It is a selfless program. Okay,
Okay.
so you the software for programming Arduino is free. The Arduino itself, the hardware is very slightly expensive. The actual original hardware is a bit expensive, but you can get the Chinese knockoffs which perform the same. So you don't need to be worried about the
Okay,
uh,
sir. Thanks for the information, sir.
yes, and there are simulation softwares as well. In the Arduino IDE, you cannot run simulations. You can only make the code. You can only program it. Okay. There are other
Okay.
softwares which include the simulation of the Arduino as well. Very simple softwares which are being used widely for online education. I will show it to you in the next class.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, one more question is there. If we have to start robotics in our school, from which class we can train the students for that?
I believe from fifth onwards is a good age. I would say they will have that mental coherence to be able to understand that whatever you are teaching. Like, see, even before you get into robotics, you need to learn the fundamentals of electricity and electronics. Like what is a resistor? Like what is a capacitor? What is a diode? What is a push
Okay,
button?
okay.
Okay, so these things you can start from fifth or sixth standard itself. By the time they learn these things, it will be already 1 or 2 years, and from sixth and seventh standard, you can actually introduce them to the programming part.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
For yes, for learning robotics, you need to have knowledge of electronics. That is very important. The fundamentals
Okay.
of electricity and electronics should be very clear to the students so that they can have a. This is not required for programming, but this is required for making robots or
Hmm.
robotics. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Uh, Divya Divya has asked, sir, government offer funds for private schools also to set up robotics lab. Yes, the Atal Tinkering Lab program is for everyone. It is not only for government schools. You can be from government or private, doesn't matter. If you fulfill the criteria, there are few criteria, as I've told you: minimum number of students, size of the school in terms of area. If you meet the minimum requirements, and uh, I guess there are other few features, criteria as well, but most of the private schools they meet those criteria. I have seen most of
Okay.
the schools are actually not aware of the scheme itself. I have encouraged a lot of schools. I have been to a lot of schools, and I have told the faculty personally that you need to apply for this program so that you can get the funding and everything. So
Okay.
it is about awareness, I believe. The scheme exists for everyone, irrespective of your uh, whether it is a government or a private school. It doesn't matter. You will get the funding.
Okay, thank you, sir. But I have one more question. Sir, I'm attending this workshop from 5 days. Like, this is the first day, and I'm a biology teacher. So, most of the things which is being discussed, no, I don't have knowledge about it. So, is there any, tool or software or any site where I can learn by myself? Because I don't have any knowledge about programming, or I don't know much about the controller or processor. So how can I update myself or upgrade this knowledge?
Yes, I believed that this will be a concern because, as I told in the beginning of the workshop itself, I went through all of the topics that the different presenters were about to present, and I realized that these topics are only for people who are expert in robotics, who has industrial robotics experience.
Mhm.
Uh,
The thing
okay,
is, sir, I
so
have interest, but I really don't have any clue how to start. So that's
yes,
why I joined this workshop also to get an idea.
yes.
So yeah, can you suggest something so that I can learn myself by self learning?
See, the whole thing was this Arduino itself. The
Okay.
very tool for the introduction is Arduino. You see, the number one benefit of using this platform is the incredible support that you get. There is a very huge community that works on this platform. You can go to the internet on the YouTube. There are courses that are being offered. There are tutorials that are being made in very detailed manner about how to start about the Arduino, how to go about starting the Arduino. Okay, you don't
Okay.
need to buy some expensive programs to be able to get into this robotics. The best
Mhm.
way to learn is natural learning. Like you should be able to
Mhm.
understand and replicate what is being taught. So I believe and suggest you that you go through the internet and start
Mhm.
learning Arduino only. You
Oh,
see, all of the robotics fundamentals are the same.
okay.
Whether it is as simple as blinking an LED to
Mhm.
something as complex as image recognition or artificial intelligence, those are very
Mhm.
difficult topics, but the fundamentals behind both these topics are the same. So I
Okay.
suggest you start from the basics and
Okay.
eventually you will start having clue about everything. You will start knowing about things. Like whenever you see something, you will know that this is how it must work. This is how it should work. Okay?
Okay.
You will start
Okay.
having the knowledge about
Okay.
that.
So I have one more question. Like, if I have to start, or if I have to know much better about Arduino,
Yes.
you suggest to learn C++ or Python?
I think you should go with C++ because that is the language that is preferred in the Arduino IDE.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. If you learn C++, in future you can switch to Python in a matter of a month, I believe, because most of the things, most of the logic is more or less similar.
Okay.
Learning C++ is the simplest and most effective idea, I believe, to get into robotics.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you. Yeah.
yes, you're welcome. And Shweta also has the same question. And Mr. Vijay Kumar Singh, uh, I did not get your question. Actually, you have not posted any question, it seems.
Actually, sorry for interruption, sir. Actually, I think whatever you are just discussing is just the different thing from the topic. Okay, so I'm asking, you just start the topic. I don't know how different teachers are from which background. Basically, we are teachers, computer teachers, and just joining. And this question session is just a simple one about adult thinking. So just start the session, the topic. I'm just telling you.
All right. So I will keep your suggestion in mind. So the topic is the revolution in robotics. That is the Arduino. That is my topic. And I will continue with the same. Okay, so few other features that I would like to tell you about this development platform, that is the Arduino. Yes. Okay, so the main advantage is the simplicity. Like you can get started with using a very few lines of code, and there are a lot of examples that have been provided as codes in the Arduino platform itself to be able to get into the programming part. Sandeep Sharma is asking, can we get physical classes on robotics by CBSE? I do not believe I can help you with that. I don't know that if you can get physical classes on robotics by CBSE. Actually, robotics is rather a recent trend. It is a new trend that has emerged, and a lot of older folks in the field don't have experience with hands-on robotics. Like they are very experienced with programming, embedded systems programming and all, but as such, I do not believe that CBSE runs any physical classes on robotics. Mukul Srivastava is asking, is there any course for the students of class 5 students
Thank
so
you,
that
sir.
I can Mukul Srivastava is asking if there is any course curriculum for the students of class 5 students so that I can start course on robotics in our school. There are no curriculums that are being there are no curriculums as of now that are being uh, suggested on robotics. I think the NEP, the new education policy, I believe will have some kind of this thing program or curriculum will be introduced, but I don't think there are any. Sujoy Das is saying nothing is audible, but my mic is turned on. As per CBSE guidelines, AI and robotics are going to be introduced from 6 a.m. Okay. Can you send basics, coding, learning, and guide of Arduino? Jayashree Venkateshwaran is asking, can you send us basics of coding, learning, and guide for Arduino? Yes, as I told you in the next session, the entire thing will be how to actually get started, how to get your hands on the Arduino. I'll show you in very detail, like how you can learn yourself as well as teach the students on a virtual platform itself without having any physical hardware as such. Okay. CBSE has started special training. Punit Namdev is saying CBSE has started special training program to train some teachers. I am not aware of that, but it is a great strategy. Saurabh Bhartiya, is this compulsory that ATL lab starts only in schools or colleges? Can you start it separately? I do not think you can start it separately because the minimum requirement is that it should be a school or some kind of educational institution. I do not believe that ATL labs can be started separately. For that, you will have to start your own institution, start your own lab or something like that. Okay. Can you help some of the websites? Bimal Mandal. Can you? Yes, I will tell you some name of the websites and so that you can progress with the studies. Yes, NPTEL is an excellent platform for learning. Okay.
Okay, sir. Any other, sir?
I believe, as I told you earlier itself, there are no specific, you don't need to have any specific platform or any such thing for learning Arduino. I mean, there is a lot of stuff. There is a massive community in the, go to the Arduino website, the official Arduino There itself, you will find a forum. On the forum itself, there are a lot of questions, queries that are being asked and being solved by different, what to say, builders and makers in the field. And so it will be helpful. You don't need to follow a certain package, or it is like that. See, this is the, I am repeating it once again, this is the beauty of open source robotics. That means you can learn anything. You don't need to buy something or to subscribe to some special package so that you have the access to the knowledge. You can go to any platform. Sorry, not any, I mean, there are a lot of them. There are specific channels on YouTube that are being dedicated to learning the Arduino platform. Okay. So the entire
Okay, sir.
point of this webinar is, this is the largest revolution in robotics that I'm talking about. No other platform ever has been so popular as the Arduino. There are a lot of other robotics platforms. You might have heard about National Instruments, the Myrio platform, or even I am not aware there are such platforms which are being used to teach robotics in in college level or degree levels, because those are complex to learn and are expensive as well. Not everyone can afford. Like the Myrio platform cost around 40,000 rupees for one board. I mean one module. So compare that to an Arduino which costs roughly 200 or 300 rupees. So it is a much accessible platform for students, for beginners who do not want to spend a lot of money, who is not, what can I say, is not sure about whether he is going to continue with the robotics or not. So once you are comfortable, you can move on to the next level, those expensive and high performance platforms. But for beginners, it should be an Arduino.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Chiranjit Kumar Verma, sir, what are basic requirements to set up robotics lab in a CBSE school, like tools, kits, etc.? Okay, I believe this is, the answer will be too long, but I will attempt. Like you need to have the basic kits, like the tools, the soldering kits, the multimeters, and basic electronic components, resistors, diode, capacitors. Apart from that, you need to have some basic learner boards like the Arduinos, some of them. And I believe you can, for very beginner level, with these kind of small kits also, you can actually start. There are a lot of companies which offer kits that are specifically designed for setting up labs. I mean, those are all-in-one kits. You can teach. See, there are different approaches to teaching robotics. There are communication protocols in robots. You can teach communication protocols using certain components. There are motion control protocols which deals with the motion of the robot. There are environment sensing components, different sensors, heat sensors, light sensors, proximity sensors. You can train a student on that section. So there are different modules which you can divide a course of robotics into. Okay, different modules. First of all, teach them basic IO. Basic IO means basic input output. You push a button and LED glows up. Basic input output. Then you go from basic input output to analog input outputs. Okay, the Arduino also support analog inputs. So that is a little bit complex. From there you go on to implementing different sensors, heat sensor, light sensor, etc., and acquire data from those sensors. That can be a different module. Then you teach them how to integrate different motion control systems. Like you want to use a motor, want to control a motor using an Arduino. You can cover that section in one different module, motion control systems module. Okay, that way you can classify your robotics education into different modules and thereby make it simple. And as per those modules, you buy the kits. You see what will be required. You can contact me afterwards. I can even guide you as to how to go about classifying different modules so that you can buy the contents for those particular modules. And thereby you will have a complete kind of kit or a setup which will be helpful to teach the students. Jayashree Sahu is asking, can teachers be trained properly with physical workshop only by doing experiments by taking various components? Can teach by taking? I think it is better because teachers get learned than us. Yes, actually, this is only how it is usually done. I also train students. Some of my colleagues, they also train. They have programs and modules that are being developed for teachers specifically. Because as I have said, this is a rather new subject. The teachers who have been teaching for the last 30 years, 40 years, I do not believe that they have the knowledge, like the knowledge that is required as of now to teach the students. They should undergo some form of training so that they can learn themselves and then pass on the knowledge to the students. Because when they studied or when they were trained, I do not believe that there were modules that trained them about robotics. I mean, there were modules which trained them about complex computer science, etc. But robotics in itself is a rather simplified version of what used to be a very daunting, a very scary subject, kind of. Okay, so so please share your email ID. This is my email ID, jyotishman38@gmail.com. If you have any queries, you can contact me as well. We also get much benefited from this workshop. Thanks you all. Yes, I am very happy that I can be of service to this society. Ramala Khan Meena, can you introduce robotics as a skill subject in schools? Yes, robotics is a skill subject. See, I guided a team of mobile robotics team for Uttarakhand state, and that team belonged to this college itself, Gurukul Kangadi Vishwavidyalaya. There were 2 students, and they were the representatives of the mobile robotics team for Uttarakhand. They represented Uttarakhand in the nationals, and they went through several stages, and that competition was India skills. So robotics is a skill, and yes, definitely you can introduce robotics as a skill subject in schools. Yes, as a skill subject, it is going to be introduced as per CBSE. Oh, all right. Okay, if there are any other queries, okay, so as I've said, in the next session, I'll be showing you like the basic so that you can get started on your own. You don't need to purchase any hardware. You don't need to buy anything. You can start on your own on a desktop or a laptop. You can simulate the whole Arduino scenario, and if you feel comfortable with it, you can go ahead and purchase the hardware or move forward accordingly. And this is a very important topic, and students and teachers should have the should understand the gravity of this field, that is the robotics, because in future what I believe that everyone will if you are aware that the Dubai is setting up an university that is exclusively for artificial intelligence, for learning artificial intelligence. So this is going to be the biggest, what you can say, uh, biggest topic of the coming centuries. Everything is going to be automated. It is already getting automated, like the Tesla cars. They can drive on their own. Okay, so everything is going to be automated. We have always dreamt of automation. Even in the old movies from 1940s or 60s, the only top, like the future is being shown as it will be with robots. There will be flying cars. There will be automatic cars as such. A. Sindhuja, sir, actually, we don't have any robotics lab or subject into curriculum. If I get help in starting it from basic, it will be helpful for school level. Anyone who wants to set up a lab, wants guidance as to how to go about setting up a lab, please contact me in my mail. There are a lot of what I can say, there are actually no companies that actually help you in setting up lab. In fact, for a lot of people, robotics has become kind of uh, what I can say. They do not themselves have the proper knowledge about robotics, and they are being entrusted with the task of setting up the lab. That is actually wrong. When you do not know what are the requirements, what all projects that will be conducted in the robotics lab, you cannot be sure of what components you need to purchase. So for that purpose, you should have someone who actually has a knowledge, has a deep knowledge on how to go about training, provide training in these fields. And I can definitely help with that. Yes. Any other queries? Actually, I'm very happy to see so much response. I believe that webinars should be as such, means there should be exchange of information from both the sides. Any doubt till what I have taught till now? And again, I'm repeating, the topic of the webinar was Arduino, a revolution in robotics. So that's what we are going to discuss, how you can get started, how you can move forward in this particular field. Uh, Ankita Dureja, you have raised your hand. Is there any query I can help you with? Okay, so I think that's basically it for this session. In the next session, we'll be going through how to actually get started. Till now, we have, I will summarize the whole thing, whole webinar. Like till now, we have observed what is Arduino, why it came into existence, and how you can like get the information about this topic from different platforms on our on the internet. Internet is the biggest teacher, I guess, in these modern times. You can find anything on the internet. I was a student of mechanical engineering during my college, but I ventured into this field out of curiosity because in colleges they organize these robotics competitions, and I used to participate in those competitions. And from there, I grew the curiosity. And yes, I suggest like uh, once you have set up these labs or uh, institutions, then you should conduct competitions. Competitions are very necessary for the students to have that competitive fire within them. Like there should be a zeal to excellence in the field. And yes, it should be introduced from very young age itself. Like if we take example of Mark Zuckerberg, he started coding in his like when he was less than 10 years old. So eventually he became this expert coder, and obviously we all know that he founded Facebook. So it is a language, it is a topic, a subject that should be started young with the students, so that even if not, as I've told you, not everyone will be comfortable going forward with the robotics as a profession, or as a hobby. They might quit in between. Not everyone will like it. So they should be started young, so that by the time they actually became decision makers, so that when they have to take a decision whether they want to proceed with it or not, so it should be their call. If they're comfortable, they can proceed. Otherwise, they can choose some other field of uh, education. Any other queries related to this webinar about whatever I have taught or whatever I have instructed upon till now? If there is any query, you are most welcome. So I think the timing for this webinar was till 1:15 p.m. and
Sir, it's till 1:30 p.m.
actually I was being given time as 1:15. Okay,
Okay, no problem, sir, no problem.
so I prepared accordingly.
Yeah, no problem in that. Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful session. And I hope all the participants have enjoyed your session and learned lot many things from you.